What if I told you that the life you're living might not be exactly what it seems? That there's a hidden layer, invisible to the eyes, but fully felt by the heart. Most people believe reality is only what they can see, but that's a huge mistake. The truth is, without realizing it, you might already be accessing the fifth dimension, vibrating in a quantum frequency that shifts everything, from your relationships to the opportunities that seem to appear out of nowhere. And here's the controversial part. You don't need to wait for enlightenment to arrive, because it has already begun within you. The signs are everywhere, in the synchronicities that repeat, in the intuition that guides you, in that strange sensation that something greater is working behind the scenes. Few people are brave enough to admit they're going through a spiritual awakening during this planetary transition. You feel you no longer fit into the old molds, but you can't quite explain why. The reward for recognizing this is immediate. More peace, more clarity, and a flow of life that feels like magic. Yet at the same time, this creates a paradox, because the more you notice the signs, the harder it becomes to fit into a world that insists on staying stuck in 3D. The curious thing is, this tension isn't a problem. It's actually proof that you're already touching the 5D timeline. And once that happens, there's no going back. So if any of this feels familiar, know this video didn't find you by accident. Nothing is coincidence when it comes to vibrational frequency. You were guided here by synchronicity. The real question is, are you ready to clearly see the signs that your consciousness is already vibrating in 5D, even if you haven't realized it yet? Many people have heard the term 5D consciousness, but still treat it as something distant, almost unreachable. The truth is, it's already happening right here and now, only most can't see it. 5D isn't about traveling to another planet, it's about changing the way we perceive reality. While the third dimension focuses only on the material world, and the fourth mixes time and mind, the fifth is like opening a new window where unconditional love becomes the main lens. It's like swapping a pair of dark sunglasses for a clear crystal lens. The world is still the same, but the way you see it changes completely. In 3D, people live trapped in a denser vibrational frequency, marked by competition, scarcity, and fear. In 4D, there's already questioning, a certain spiritual awakening, but it's still full of doubts and illusions. D, however, is the stage where one finally understands that everything is connected, that the quantum field is not a theory but a living force that responds to your energy. Imagine waking up each day and feeling that life is aligned with you, that every step echoes in the universe. That's the essence of expanded consciousness. It's important to understand that living in 5D doesn't mean abandoning practical life. It means integrating it into something bigger. Think about those little synchronicities, repeating numbers, meeting the right person at the right time, or gaining sudden clarity that seemed impossible before. The person keeps working, studying, caring for family, but now with a higher awareness, seeing hidden meaning in everything. This planetary transition is accelerating the process, pulling more and more people into their 5D timeline almost without them realizing it. Here's a simple analogy. Imagine an old TV full of static and noise. That would be 3D, limited and confusing. 4D would be tuning in better but still with some interference. 5D would be finally watching in high definition, sharp and vibrant. The content might be the same, but the experience is totally different. Once someone enters this state, they begin to feel heart-brain coherence and inner harmony that naturally guides them into balance. It's like body, mind, and soul finally speaking the same language. People often ask, but how do I know if I'm already in this process? The answer lies in the small signs. A person in 5D feels compassion where before they felt anger. They see possibilities where before there were only blockages. Challenges stop being obstacles and become opportunities to raise their vibrational frequency. At this stage, unconditional love is no longer just an idea, but the foundation of all choices. That's when life starts to flow, almost effortlessly. And maybe the most fascinating part is that this shift isn't reserved for a chosen few. Everyone is being invited into this expansion. The difference is in who chooses to answer the call. Once they say yes, life begins to move in synchronicity, and spiritual awakening stops being a distant theory and becomes a living reality. Which naturally brings up the next question. How can you recognize the signs that you're already stepping into this fifth dimension without even noticing it? When someone begins to step into the fifth dimension, the signs often show up so subtly that most people don't even notice. One of the first is synchronicity, that feeling that the universe is conspiring in your favor, aligning people, situations, and even repeating numbers along your path. Seeing 1111, 2222, or even 777 isn't just coincidence, it's the quantum field mirroring the vibrational frequency you're putting out. It's as if life itself is winking at you, whispering, "You're on the right track." Another clear sign is the sensation of unity with everything around you. Suddenly, you look at a tree, a river, or even a stranger walking by, and you feel there's something deeply shared, the same essence flowing through it all. That feeling of connection brings a profound peace because it shows that we're not separate, but deeply interwoven. It's as if the heart understands before the mind does, creating heart-brain coherence that transforms even the smallest gestures into acts of unconditional love. Intuition also grows sharper as consciousness aligns with the 5D timeline. That inner voice becomes clearer and more trustworthy, guiding decisions that may seem illogical at first but always lead to the best outcome. People often report avoiding accidents, stumbling into surprising opportunities, or sensing who's about to call or text. This expanded awareness isn't just imagination. It's the mind tuning into a higher frequency, something logic alone can't explain. Another sign is the emotional shift from fear to love. In 3D, people are driven by fear, anxiety, and control. But when accessing 5D consciousness, unconditional love becomes the default state. It's not that fear disappears, but it no longer takes the lead. Instead, there's a quiet trust, a steady faith that everything unfolds at the right time. This deep trust is part of the ongoing planetary transition. As more people are learning to surrender control and let life's flow guide their steps. Interestingly, many also find themselves losing interest in drama, gossip, or judgment. They start feeling out of place in heavy, negative environments, as if their whole being no longer fits those energies. It's like their body, vibrating at a new frequency, naturally rejects what's misaligned. This filtering effect attracts new circles, new friendships, and opportunities that resonate with the 5D timeline, while the old gradually falls away. And perhaps the most intriguing part is that these signs don't appear all at once. They show up like clues, gentle reminders that spiritual awakening is underway. As you learn to recognize them, life feels lighter, more purposeful, and full of meaning. But even in this process, there are traps that pull you back into 3D, and understanding those traps is essential if you want to stay aligned with the new consciousness. Even when someone begins to experience signs of the fifth dimension, there are still traps trying to pull them back into old 3D patterns. The first and most powerful is fear. Fear paralyzes, paints catastrophic scenarios in the mind, and blocks trust in the quantum field. It acts like a fog that distorts reality, making you believe you're alone and unsupported. This lowers your vibrational frequency and cuts your connection to the quantum frequency, the very place where life's real magic unfolds. Another major trap is limiting beliefs. How many times have you heard phrases like, "You can't," "That's not for you," "Life is hard"? When absorbed, these ideas become invisible walls that keep you repeating cycles of frustration. It's like trying to fly with heavy chains tied to your feet. Breaking free requires questioning those beliefs and replacing them with new convictions, rooted in unconditional love and spiritual awakening. That's how you shift into alignment with the 5D timeline. Excessive materialism is another trap. Of course, enjoying comfort isn't wrong, but when having outweighs being, emptiness sets in. Chasing possessions, status, or recognition outside yourself never satisfies. It's like drinking salt water. The more you consume, the thirstier you become. True abundance comes from heart-brain coherence, from the inner balance that naturally attracts everything you really need in the fifth dimension. The uncontrolled ego is also a strong anchor to 3D. It thrives on comparisons, competition, and the illusion of superiority. But ego is just a mask. It may project power, but underneath there's only fear and insecurity. When ego runs the show, you lose the chance to feel unity. The key isn't killing the ego, but putting it in its rightful place, as a co-pilot, not the driver. Only then can you rise into a higher vibrational frequency. Modern distractions also play a huge role in keeping people stuck. Social media, endless consumerism, and negative news constantly flood the mind with noise that drains energy. It's like being plugged into static all the time, leaving no space to hear your own intuition. The trap is believing this constant rush is normal, when in truth it's designed to keep people asleep. Unplugging from the noise, even for a few minutes daily, already opens the door for spiritual awakening to grow. What makes these traps especially dangerous is that they disguise themselves as normal life. They're passed down through generations and rarely questioned. But as the planetary transition accelerates, more people are waking up and realizing they can't live on autopilot anymore. That's when the need for practical tools becomes urgent, and the next step is learning exactly how to activate and sustain 5D consciousness in everyday life. Activating 5D consciousness isn't about waiting for some massive cosmic event. It's about small, consistent choices that shift your vibrational frequency day by day. The first tool is meditation. Many think meditation means emptying the mind, but in truth it's about silencing 3D noise so you can hear the whisper of your soul. Just 5 or 10 minutes a day can align you with the quantum field and help you see life with more clarity. It's like tuning a radio station. Suddenly, everything becomes clear. Another powerful practice is gratitude. But it's not about repeating scripted phrases. It's about truly feeling unconditional love for the details of life. Thanking the air you breathe, the smile you receive, or an unexpected encounter instantly raises your state of being. Gratitude works like a password to the fifth dimension, opening doors for life to respond with even greater blessings. Those who cultivate this habit soon notice synchronicities increasing, as if the universe is saying, "Keep going, you're on the right path." Heart-brain coherence is also essential. Studies show that when thoughts and feelings are in harmony, the entire body enters balance. In that state, energy expands and connects you directly to the quantum frequency. Practically speaking, this can be done with simple exercises, deep breathing, recalling a loving memory, and holding that feeling for a few minutes. It's incredible how such a simple practice can completely shift the course of your day. Raising vibrational frequency also involves the body. Food, nature, and even music all act as gateways. Choosing natural meals, spending time under the sun, or listening to mantras and calming sounds helps anchor you into the 5D timeline. It's like fueling a car with premium gas. The performance changes, Each choice you make silently declares to the universe which frequency you want to live in. Relationships matter too. Sometimes the biggest block isn't inside you but around you. Surrounding yourself with people who embody unconditional love, compassion, and growth creates a collective field that lifts you higher. It's like rowing in a group. When everyone's in sync, the boat moves faster and with less effort. Letting go of toxic circles opens space for soul-nurturing connections to flourish. The best part is, none of this requires drastic life changes, just consistency. Small steps practiced daily build a solid bridge between 3D life and 5D experience. And once that bridge becomes strong, transformation is inevitable, leading to something even greater, living fully anchored in the fifth dimension. But then comes the real question. What actually happens when someone truly starts inhabiting that state of consciousness? When someone finally anchors themselves in 5D consciousness, life stops being a constant struggle and starts to feel like a dance with the universe. Everything begins to flow naturally, as if the quantum field is rearranging itself to bring exactly what's needed at the perfect time. It's like watching pieces of a puzzle suddenly fall into place, revealing a bigger picture that was always there. This transformation is not only internal but also reshapes the outer world, creating a cycle of harmony and expansion. In this state, people begin to consciously co-create their reality. It's not about controlling life, but about choosing the vibrational frequency they want to live in. Once the inner energy shifts, the outer world responds instantly. That's why in 5D opportunities, people and experiences seem to fall from the sky. The truth is they were always available, but only become visible when consciousness tunes into the 5D timeline. Living in 5D also means attracting relationships that resonate with your new frequency. Shallow connections fade, while deeper bonds naturally take their place. It's as if the heart becomes a radar, instantly sensing who is aligned with unconditional love and spiritual awakening. This natural filtering doesn't just remove what no longer serves. It strengthens the connections that help you maintain heart-brain coherence and live in balance. Another striking aspect is the lightness that comes with it. Worries that once felt unbearable lose their grip because you realize you're part of a much greater planetary transition. Perspective shifts from the isolated I to the collective we. It's like dropping a heavy backpack full of stones and walking freely with only what truly matters. This lightness doesn't mean passivity, but rather taking conscious, focused action aligned with what's essential. Creativity also expands in surprising ways. Ideas flow with ease, solutions appear intuitively, and hidden talents begin to awaken. Many report discovering artistic, healing, or even psychic abilities as they step into this state. That happens because in 5D, the mind is more connected to the quantum frequency, where everything already exists in potential. All it takes is choosing what to access and bringing it into reality. At its core, living in 5D is an invitation to experience life as it really is, abundant, interconnected, and full of hidden meaning. Once someone feels this calling, there's no turning back. Perception is forever changed. But to fully integrate this knowledge into daily life, one question remains. Could it be that you're already living these signs without realizing the magnitude of your own transformation? Now that you've walked through each step of this journey, ask yourself, could it be that you're already living in 5D without realizing it? Notice the synchronicities in your life, the way certain people cross your path, or that strange feeling that time sometimes bends around you. None of this is random. It's the quantum field responding to your vibrational frequency. And the more you recognize these signs, the clearer your spiritual awakening becomes. But here's the challenge. What are you going to do with this knowledge? Will you keep living as if you're stuck in old 3D energy, or will you choose to co-create your reality in the 5D timeline? Think carefully, because this choice isn't about tomorrow. It's about right now. The universe has already been giving you clues, and ignoring them could mean missing the chance to experience unconditional love in its purest form. So I want to know from you, what signs have you already noticed in your life? Have you felt heart-brain coherence guiding your decisions? Have you ever laughed to yourself after an incredible synchronicity? Share it in the comments, because your story might be the light someone else needs to see during their own planetary transition. The invitation is clear. Apply this knowledge. Meditate, give thanks, protect your energy, observe the signs, and allow yourself to live what's already available to you. The fifth dimension isn't some far-off future. It's a reality being lived right now by those who are awake enough to see it. Take a deep breath, trust, and step fully into it. And if this message resonated with you, make sure to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. That way, you'll keep receiving guidance that doesn't just inform, but transforms. Because each video here is another key to unlocking your consciousness and aligning your life with your soul's true frequency. So let me ask you once again, are you ready to live fully in 5D? The answer is already in your hands.